Today we're going to do an unboxing video for you, and we're going to go over this Akaso smart lock. This is a new project that we have been trying this year after field testing it for about 6 months or so. We have 350 units, and so whenever we try something, we want to kind of ease into it, maybe field test it in a smaller market. So this has proven to be really great. So why transition to smart locks? I mean, the traditional wisdom for a property management company is, get the place rekeyed, use a locksmith, or they have those quick sets where you can do it yourself, but those are never reliable. I've tried it on my own building, and if you try to rekey those yourself, those locks they fail often. So it's either use that, don't rekey, which some states you can do that, although it's not recommended, or get a locksmith. So why did we transition to a smart lock? Well, as some of you know, I've personally been looking at the vacation rental market. One of the things they do really well is remote access, because they have guests going in and out every day, every week, just depending on the frequency of how often they rent it out. And so they use smart locks so that they can control access and they can change codes, and it's just very easy. I mean, if you had locksmiths for every time they change a guest, it just costs prohibitive. So I got the idea from the vacation rental industry. Not only is a smart lock a good way for owners to save money, because now you don't have to pay a locksmith every time, but so in the long run, you're saving money for your owners, for your clients, for you, if you own rental property, but also it's reducing work orders, because every time there's a locksmith, there's coordination. There's phone numbers that have to be passed, there's vendors that have to be paid, right? There's invoices. It cuts all that out, cuts out the locksmith. We joke around and say we put locksmiths out of business with this. Not only do you reduce locksmiths, but you reduce work orders, you reduce when I say work orders, that's the whole process from start to finish of creating what something needs to be done on a house, closing it out, and all the administrative details on that. And then you also reduce lockouts. You can get locked out with a key, but with this, hey, just issue another code or show them how to use it properly. So usually they don't know how to use it properly. That's the big thing, and we just show them how to do that. Once I got sold on the idea of a smart lock, now it's like, of all the myriad of smart locks out there, which one should we use, right? So I decided on the Akaso smart lock. Yeah, you never heard of it. I've never heard of it either. But it was a gamble. So I bought this, played around with it, and after we tried it out on a couple homes, field tested it, we really liked it. It had to meet a certain criteria. What were the criteria? One, no keyhole. Because if it has a keyhole, that means it had to be rekeyed. Like in our Texas properties, if there's a keyhole, it has to be rekeyed. But there's no keyhole. There actually is, but there's a cover on it. So in essence, really no keyhole. So it doesn't have to be rekeyed. No keys get issued. In essence, it's all smart lock. The other thing is, because there's no Wi-Fi at the home, the smart lock had to be algorithmic. What does that mean? It means that there's an algorithm built in. So I can use the app on the phone. I can change a password. I can make a one-day password, a permanent password, and it can be effective on this lock because of an algorithm, not because of connectivity. It doesn't have to have any Wi-Fi connectivity for me to issue certain passcodes, which is really cool. Third, in case the 4 AA batteries run out, there's multiple redundancy to get into the lock. You can hook up a 9-volt battery, which I'll show you here later where you do that, or you can take off the cover and use a physical key. So that's second backup. Lastly, it's very simple to install and fairly simple to use, and it's pretty inexpensive. You can get these on Amazon, and I usually order it in bulk. So with that, let me open it up and unbox it, and then we'll get into it. All right, so Akaso. It's not a Japanese cuss word, it is a smart lock. We're gonna unbox it here. Lots of nice foam to protect it. Having troubles in installation, connecting the door with the app? Simply watch the following video. I think we watched it, and I'm not sure if it's that great, so we're gonna show you our version. User manual, easy to install. I did it in 30 minutes, and I'm not a maintenance technician. Our maintenance tech, once he got familiar with it the first time or so, it's pretty easy. Template, okay? And this is all just part of the lock. So when they send this to you, okay, this is the inside where you can just lock and unlock. Okay, there you'll notice this is chrome. Okay, the other version they have, and this is the keypad, is black. So this part is black. Now, you can't really specify what color you get. And so when I've ordered it, sometimes it comes in chrome, sometimes it comes in black. And both are pretty universally easy to match on our doors. So it really doesn't make a difference for us. So it comes with the inside, the outside keypad. Of course, this is the bolt. This is the plate. This is the key that you hold and you don't give to the tenant. And of course, a bunch of bolts and everything. So it's pretty simple. So what I'm going to do is show you how to program this when you get the lock. All right, so I have the major components in front of me. The first thing you want to do when you set this up is you take the base plate here and just press it into this button. That slides out. You will need 4 AA batteries, so I'm going to stick that in. Good old Amazon Basics does the trick. All right, there, batteries are in. Flip it over. And before I plug this guy in and give it some juice, there's a little sensor button right here. And it will annoy the heck out of you and keep beeping and beeping and beeping and drive you crazy. So what I like to do is tape it down so it thinks that it's already installed. Because if it's not installed tight to the door, it'll beep and let you know. And that's why it beeps. So if you press it down with tape for this exercise, then you won't hear that beeping noise. 12 little holes that go into these 12 pins here, and you just insert it and press in, and you hear the beep. All right, so now you see it light up. You can go ahead and peel this thing off, this piece of plastic. All right. At this point, you'll need to download the app and create a username password, which I've already done. All right, so I'm gonna prop this up so you can have a better angle. And so the lock that you want is the door lock. You hit door lock, and once you hit the door lock, you just press the pound key and hit next. It found it. There it is right there. Nearby locks. It's all via Bluetooth. Make sure Bluetooth's turned on your phone. Hit the plus symbol. And you can see that there's a little green, blue and green flash right there. So success, assign a name. Usually I kind of get the lock ready before I even know what home I'm putting it on. So I would just assign a very generic name, like Chrome Lock 1. That way I can test the lock, make sure it works, get the batteries in it. When the maintenance technician comes to pick it up, all I have to do is assign the real name, and it's a lot easier because most of the setup's already complete. So Chrome Lock 1. All right, I'm just gonna, oops, go ahead and hit OK. All right, you'll notice I have a bunch of locks. See, I have a lot of locks already set up under different categories. This is under the ungrouped category, Chrome Lock 1. There it is. So there's like a lot of different fields here. You don't have to worry about most of them, but the important ones are settings and generate passcode, and send e-key at a later time when you have tenants. So we're just going to focus on setting it up. So go to settings. Under basics, you go there first. Lock number, MAC ID, batteries at 100%. Lock name is Chrome Lock 1. Lock group is ungrouped. When I'm ready to group it, I can group it to work, okay? But right now, just leave it as ungrouped. That way I know all of the locks that are ready to go. So I have one under ungrouped. Admin passcode, I can leave that alone. So really nothing to do under the basics. Unlock remotely, we leave that as off. Auto lock, okay? The lock will be locked after the time set above. So first, it needs to read the time, and it gets that from my phone. I'm going to turn on the auto lock. Current setting is usually 30 seconds. I'm going to go to custom. The most I can set it to will be 120 seconds. What this means is that after 120 seconds, yeah, I go to custom, hit OK. After 120 seconds, the lock will automatically lock. We used to have it at 30 seconds, but then people kept getting locked out of their houses. So 120 seconds gives them 2 minutes. If they forget to lock the home, it'll be locked for them. So 120 seconds, that's the max you can do. Save it. You can even turn it off if people don't like it, but we figure it's a nice feature. You forget to lock up, it'll lock up behind you automatically. 120 seconds. Okay, so auto lock is the first feature we mess with. Operation failed. Okay, let's try it again. It's beeping. There it goes. Yeah, it's kind of wonky sometimes. You just gotta do it multiple times sometimes. Lock clock. If you recall, we already read the clock through the auto lock feature, so it doesn't need to be calibrated. That's December 23rd and the time's right. Okay. And unlock notification, you definitely want to turn that off. Otherwise, every time someone locks or unlocks, it'll send you a notification on your phone, and that'll get overwhelming at one point. So you don't really need that on and off unless for a certain purpose. You just want to know when they're going in, when they're going out for some reason. All right, that's it for settings. Now we're going to create a passcode. Generate passcode. There's lots of different passcodes you can generate. Let's do a permanent one. This one will be called permanent. That's easy to remember. Generate passcode. Succeeded. Okay, so I can share it or I can hit complete. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it. So I'm going to wake up the lock, hit pound, 934888180. I hit pound. You'll notice that the gear turned, which is what you want it to do. And so the lock works. Complete. It says that the passcode must be used at least once within 24 hours from the current time, or it will be suspended for security reasons. So you gotta use it to lock it in there. Now if I go back out and go to my passcodes section, you'll see there it is, permanent. And there's the passcode issued by me, the time issued, and you can share it with someone if you wanted to share it. All right, so that's how you do a permanent passcode. If you want to do a timed passcode, you can have a start date and end date. Again, if you create a timed passcode, you've got to use it within 24 hours to make it valid. A one-time passcode, so if you have a vendor going in for a day and you want to give them access for a day, you can use this. The passcode must be used within 6 hours from the current time. So there's little instructions down here. This is our erase code that we give our walkthrough technician to erase all the old locks before a new tenant moves in, before she issues a new fresh one. Custom. This is the cool one. This one you actually have to be within Bluetooth range. Why? Because you're creating a custom code that's not already programmed in the algorithm. So if you want to do a 4-digit code, that's a lot easier to remember than an 8-digit code. You want to use custom. And our tenants appreciate that because they don't like remembering a long 8-digit code. So we either tell them to get the app where we can share the E key with them and they can use the app to open the lock, or we create a custom. And recurring, for example, if you have a cleaner that goes in every day from every week, Mondays at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you can create a recurring passcode, but we really don't use that one. So to set this up, we usually just generate a passcode, a permanent passcode. Oh, there it is. It locked it by itself automatically after 2 minutes. We create a permanent passcode for agents to get in. All right, agents to get in to show the place, vendors to get in to do work on the house. So everyone's sharing that passcode. We really don't care about the security until we get a tenant, they're about to move in, we erase everything with an erase code and create a new passcode, nice fresh passcode for the tenant. All right, so that's how you operate that. That's really the basic operation, okay? And so once I figure out where I want to put this lock, oh, it's simple. I go to settings, go to basics, and there's the lock name, and I just changed the lock name. And I changed the group to my work group. And it goes from the ungrouped Chrome Lock 1 to my work group, which is all my properties that have it currently. All right, that is done. And now let's talk about the lock for a sec. This is pretty much set up. Usually I just kind of take the box and I write Chrome Lock 1. And I shove the keys in here and it's ready to go until I assign it to a property. To take it apart, make sure you don't bust your fingernails pulling it out. You just kind of use a little bit of firm pressure. You might want to take the tape off. Take the tape off there. And stick it back in the box. Now before I do that, I want to show you a couple things. Okay. A couple things. First of all, if you are running out of batteries, for example, what do? Well, you can stick a 9-volt battery down here. The tenant can stick a 9-volt battery here. That will give it some temporary juice to get in, and then they can replace the batteries from the inside through the method that we just showed you. So that's a backup. And then worst case scenario, no 9 volts around for some reason, and we can always pop this off and we can use a traditional key right here for that. All right. So we'll put this cover back on. You got to depress the little sides there. Stick this back in. Into the box. And put all the goodies back in here. And this one is ready to be assigned to our next property. Okay, so you've seen the technical nerdy side of things. I just want to show you a lock in action, one that I installed. So as you can see here, it looks pretty decent. It's been on for about 2 years. I haven't replaced the battery at all, actually. They recommend replacing it every year. So all you do when you get up to the door is you wake it up and then you punch in the code. You hear the motor running, and voila! And you're in. Now, to lock up, you can either wait 2 minutes, which will eventually lock, or you can just hold down the pound key, and it's locked. So, pretty simple operation. Let's go back to the office and finish this up. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. This is just another way that your favorite homeboy tries to stay on the cutting edge with technology, saving our clients money, providing security, and limiting the liability for our clients as well. So please hit the subscribe button, like the video, and comment below if you have any questions or any comments. Let me know what you think about this way of moving from traditional locksmith to putting in smart locks. Let me know what you think below, and this is your favorite homeboy signing out. Thanks.